a morning in 2023, commercial fisherman Ryun Coleman was working off Puerto Rico when something impossible swam alongside his boat. Glowing eyes stared back at him as human-like figures moved through the water with terrifying intelligence.
I hear him. Where's she at? What the f is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you?
Coleman's footage captured what many believe were mermaids, but the truth remains mysterious. From ancient creatures that shouldn't exist to discoveries that reopen cold cases, these 20 moments will make you think twice about what's lurking beneath the surface. Number 20. Picture this. You're a Russian fisherman hauling in your nets from the abyss when something that shouldn't exist emerges from the depths. In February 2025, Roman Fedortsov caught a deep-sea lumpsucker that looked more like an alien than a fish, with its gelatinous, bloated appearance sparking an online frenzy. The creature's body had expanded due to pressure changes as it was brought to the surface, creating a grotesque balloon-like appearance. Its skin was see-through, and you could actually see its glowing organs moving inside. Rows and rows of sharp, needle-like teeth filled its wide-open mouth. Its big, round eyes followed every little movement, like it was watching and thinking. What made it even creepier was how the fish acted. Even out of water, it kept moving, staring at the camera with eyes that felt almost evil. Experts said it was a lumpsucker, a deep-sea fish that lives far below where sunlight can't reach. At the surface, it swells up and looks like a creature from a horror movie. People on Fedortsov's Instagram were both amazed and disturbed, and some even wondered what other alien-like creatures are hiding in the deep ocean. Number 19. You've heard of Ouroboros, the ancient symbol of a snake eating its own tail. But what about a real fish that literally tried to swallow itself? In July 2019, Chase McCrae was fishing at Langham Creek in Houston when he reeled in something that defied logic, a channel catfish being devoured by a snake. The footage shows McCrae's genuine shock and confusion as he tries to process what he's seeing. The snake had latched onto the catfish with such determination that it wouldn't let go, even when pulled from the water. This created a bizarre tug-of-war between predator and prey, with McCrae caught in the middle. What makes this truly disturbing is the snake's behavior. Most snakes would release their prey when threatened, but this one held on with deadly determination. The catfish was still alive, thrashing in panic as the snake's coils tightened around its body. McCrae eventually had to use a knife to separate the two creatures, but the damage was done. The catfish had multiple puncture wounds and was clearly traumatized. The snake, identified as a water moccasin, was equally aggressive and had to be handled with extreme caution. Number 18. Imagine pulling up your nets and finding a creature straight out of nightmare folklore. In February 2025, an oarfish washed up on a Mexican beach, sparking widespread fear due to its reputation as the doomsday fish. These serpentine monsters can grow up to 56 feet long and are rarely seen at the surface. Japanese folklore links oarfish sightings to earthquakes and tsunamis. Before the devastating 2011 tsunami that killed over 15,000 people, multiple oarfish had washed ashore along Japan's coast. The fish normally live at depths of 3,000 feet, so their surface appearance suggests something catastrophic is happening in the deep ocean. The Mexican specimen measured over 20 feet long, its ribbon-like body undulating in the waves like a sea serpent from ancient myths. Local fishermen refused to approach it, crossing themselves and muttering prayers. The scientific name Regalecus glesni means king of herrings, but locals called it messenger of the sea god's wrath. What makes this particularly terrifying is the timing. The Pacific Ring of Fire had been unusually active, with several minor earthquakes recorded in the weeks following the discovery. Whether coincidence or genuine warning, the appearance of this prehistoric-looking creature filled coastal communities with dread. Number 17. Swedish fishermen expected to catch perch or pike, not pieces of someone's past. In 2018, while fishing in a quiet canal, they discovered a human skull that would change their peaceful afternoon into a crime scene investigation.
I found a skull, a human skull out there, and it was straight up out of the mud.
The skull was well preserved, suggesting it hadn't been in the water very long. What started as a friendly conversation and casual casting became hushed whispers and nervous glances. The skull showed clear signs of trauma, with what appeared to be fracture lines across the cranium. Police arrived within hours, cordoning off the entire area and bringing in forensic specialists. The discovery reopened a missing person case from 3 years earlier. A local businessman had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a thriving company and a family desperate for answers. His car had been found abandoned near this very canal, but extensive searches had turned up nothing. DNA analysis confirmed the worst fears. This was indeed the missing businessman. The fracture patterns suggested blunt force trauma, transforming the case from missing person to homicide. The fishermen who made the discovery were traumatized, both by finding the remains and by learning they'd been fishing in what was essentially a crime scene. Number 16. Time travel isn't possible, but sometimes the past reaches up from underwater to grab you. A fisherman in Ireland was having a routine day on the lake when his line snagged something massive 6 inches wide, antlers belonging to a 10,000-year-old giant elk. The Irish elk, despite its name, was actually the largest deer that ever lived, with antlers spanning 12 feet across. These magnificent beasts went extinct at the end of the last ice age. Yet here was physical proof of their existence being pulled from a lake's depths. The antlers were perfectly preserved by the lake's unique chemical composition, appearing almost fresh, despite their incredible age. Each point and curve told a story of ancient forests and a world completely different from ours. The fisherman initially thought he'd snagged some modern debris, but the massive size and unusual shape quickly revealed something extraordinary. Carbon dating confirmed what paleontologists suspected. This specimen was from the final generation of Irish elk before extinction. The antlers showed battle scars, evidence of fierce competition during mating season. You could almost imagine this magnificent creature locking antlers with rivals in primeval forests. Archaeological teams descended on the lake, hoping to find more remains. The discovery suggested an entire ecosystem preserved beneath the water, a prehistoric graveyard waiting to be explored. Number 15. Sometimes fishermen catch more than they bargained for, but rarely something that could vaporize them instantly. In January 2019, fisherman Brian D.V. was working his nets off Brixham, Devon, when he pulled up a 1,000-pound World War II parachute mine. The device was over 8 feet long and designed to be dropped from German aircraft during the Blitz. These mines were equipped with delayed fuses that could activate from pressure changes, movement, or even vibration. DVE had unknowingly hauled aboard enough explosives to destroy his entire vessel and crew. The mine had been sitting on the seabed for over 80 years, but experts warned it was still fully active. Salt water had corroded the exterior, making it even more unstable and unpredictable. One wrong move could have triggered a blast with a radius of over 300 feet. DVE posted a photo on social media asking for identification, not realizing he was showing off a live bomb. Comments poured in from military experts, warning him to evacuate immediately. The Royal Navy rushed to the scene, closing off the harbor and evacuating nearby buildings. The controlled detonation sent a massive water plume hundreds of feet into the air, rattling windows for miles around. DVE later admitted he'd been handling the device carelessly, not knowing how close he'd come to death. Number 14. Beachgoers in Nags Head, North Carolina thought they were having a normal Monday evening stroll until something nightmarish washed ashore from the deep ocean. In May 2014, a rare lancetfish, a creature that should never surface from the abyss, appeared on the beach with its grotesque appearance, terrifying everyone who saw it. The lancetfish looked like something straight out of a horror movie, with a massive mouth filled with razor-sharp, needle-like teeth designed for killing. Its elongated body stretched over 6 feet long, covered in translucent skin that revealed alien-like bone structure beneath. The creature's dead eyes stared accusingly at anyone who dared approach. What made this discovery particularly disturbing was how little scientists know about these deep-sea predators. They live thousands of feet below in ocean trenches where sunlight never reaches. For one to wash ashore suggested something catastrophic had happened in the deep ocean, forcing this ancient predator from its natural habitat and reminding everyone that our waters hide monsters we're not prepared to encounter. Number 13. Picture being surrounded by thousands of creatures that could kill you with a single touch. In May 2025, travel blogger Megan Gilbert was kayaking in Cape Town, South Africa, when she lowered her camera beneath the surface and discovered a nightmare scenario. Thousands of stinging starlight jellyfish directly beneath her. The water glowed with an otherworldly blue light as thousands of translucent bells pulsed in synchronization. Each jellyfish contained enough venom to cause excruciating pain and potentially cardiac arrest. Gilbert was literally floating above a field of death. What made this truly terrifying was their coordinated movement, like a single massive organism. One slip from the kayak, and Gilbert would have been surrounded by thousands of stinging tentacles. The venom could have caused anaphylactic shock, making swimming impossible while help was miles away. The Instagram video Gilbert captured garnered over 1.4 million likes, with viewers expressing horror at how close she came to disaster. Many admitted they'd never kayak again after seeing her footage. Number 12. Men from a Jamaican community were peacefully fishing at Jack's River when they saw something that made them run in terror. What they found was a giant American bullfrog so massive it looked like a monster. The creature was much larger than normal bullfrogs, which usually grow to 8 inches. This one was so unnaturally huge that when they hung it from a tree, it looked like something from a horror movie. Its bulbous body, massive legs, and alien-like face horrified everyone who saw it. The men were so frightened they fled, before returning with a spear gun to kill it. Environmental Officer Damian White confirmed the image was real, explaining these American bullfrogs were brought to Jamaica in the 1960s for food, but locals found them too disgusting. The discovery reminded everyone that familiar rivers hide creatures most never see. Giant amphibians lurking beneath the surface, waiting to emerge and terrify fishermen. Number 11. Peaceful waters can turn deadly in seconds, as kayak fisherman Adam Irino learned in the most terrifying way possible. In 2024, Irino was fishing off the California coast when a speeding motorboat came out of nowhere, striking his kayak in a collision that could have been fatal. The footage shows Irino frantically paddling to avoid the approaching vessel, his voice rising in panic as he realizes the boat's driver hasn't seen him. The impact sends him flying through the air, his fishing gear scattered across the water as his kayak disintegrates beneath him. What makes this incident truly horrifying is how quickly it happened. One moment, Irino was enjoying a peaceful fishing session. The next, he was fighting for his life in churning waters. The motorboat's propeller missed him by inches, close enough to slice through his fishing line. The collision left Irino with multiple injuries, including a concussion and several broken ribs. But the psychological trauma was worse than the physical damage. He'd come within seconds of being killed by a boat that never even slowed down after the impact. Number 10. Scientists thought they knew the limits of life on Earth until they dropped cameras into Japan's deepest ocean trench and discovered something that shouldn't exist. In 2023, researchers captured footage of a snailfish swimming at an extraordinary depth of 8,336 meters, deeper than any fish had ever been recorded. The creature looked like a ghostly, bloated tadpole, with transparent skin and gel instead of normal flesh. Its orange liver was visible through its translucent body as it glided through the pitch-black abyss. These snailfish live in crushing pressure that would instantly kill most life forms, yet they thrive in this alien environment. What made this discovery truly unsettling was the realization that life exists in places we thought were impossible. The snailfish were swimming in complete darkness, under pressure over 800 times greater than at sea level, in temperatures just above freezing. Professor Alan Jameson, who led the expedition, admitted he wasn't even sure there would be fish that deep. This whole thing revealed that our planet's most extreme environments harbor creatures we never imagined could survive. Number 9. Lake Ontario holds many secrets, but none as historically significant as what the Raise the Arrow team discovered. On August 13, 2018, divers successfully recovered a historic relic from the Avro Arrow Free Flight program, a 3-meter scale model that had been submerged for over 64 years. The recovery operation was both triumphant and eerie. As the model emerged from the depths, its bent nose and corroded surface told the story of decades underwater. This wasn't just a piece of metal. It was a symbol of Canadian innovation and political controversy that had been lost to the lake's depths since 1954. The Avro Arrow represented one of the most advanced aircraft of its time, capable of Mach 2 speeds and altitudes above 50,000 feet. When the program was controversially canceled in 1959, many prototypes and models were destroyed. These test models were thought lost forever until sophisticated sonar technology located them on the lake bottom. What made the recovery particularly moving was the presence of surviving Arrow engineers, now elderly, who had worked on the original project. Seeing their life's work emerge from the depths after so many years brought tears to their eyes. They'd carried the secret of the model's location for decades. The model's preservation was remarkable, with Canadian aviation and space museum experts amazed by its condition. Number 8. Charleston fishermen thought they'd hit the jackpot when they spotted packages floating in the water. They had no idea they'd stumbled into something that could get them killed. In 2019, the anglers discovered 30 to 50 kilograms of cocaine worth between $750,000 and $1 million floating off the South Carolina coast. The packages were professionally wrapped in waterproof materials, suggesting they'd been lost during a smuggling operation. Drug cartels don't take kindly to losing million-dollar shipments, and the fishermen suddenly found themselves in possession of evidence that could make them targets. The real danger was what the discovery meant. They were fishing in waters used by violent drug traffickers. These weren't small-time criminals, and the fishermen had unknowingly stepped into a crime scene. The Coast Guard responded quickly, searching the area and questioning the men. Federal agents even warned them their lives could be at risk. Smugglers often use fishing boats for cover, and even an honest trip can turn deadly. The fishermen did the right thing, but they'll never fish there the same way again. Number 7. Loch Ness seemed quieter than usual in 2016 until some fishermen made a discovery that brought back decades-old memories. Using underwater drones, they found a 9-meter model of the Loch Ness monster that had been lying on the lake bottom for almost 50 years. The massive prop had been built in 1969 for a Sherlock Holmes movie, but sank during filming and was never recovered. When the fishermen first spotted the dark shape on their sonar, they thought they'd finally found proof of the legendary creature. The excitement was overwhelming until they realized the truth. What made this discovery both thrilling and disappointing was how realistic the model appeared even after decades underwater. Its serpentine neck and humped back perfectly matched eyewitness descriptions of Nessie sightings. The prop had been designed so convincingly that it fooled even experienced monster hunters. The irony wasn't lost on locals. For nearly 5 decades, people had been searching for a mythical beast, while an artificial one lay hidden in the depths. The model's discovery reignited debates about other Nessie sightings, with many wondering how many authentic encounters were actually glimpses of this forgotten movie prop drifting through the murky waters. Number 6. Pompano Beach seemed like paradise until something otherworldly washed ashore. In 2012, a fisherman discovered a softball-sized eyeball on the sand, its alien appearance sparking widespread fear and speculation. The eye was perfectly preserved, staring accusingly at anyone who dared approach. Initial theories ranged from a sea monster to an alien visitor. The eye's size suggested it came from a creature much larger than anything known to inhabit local waters. Its blue-gray color and massive pupil gave it an almost human quality that disturbed everyone who saw it. Marine biologists were called in to identify the specimen, but even experts were initially puzzled. The eye's size and condition suggested it had been removed recently. But from what creature? Local fishing guides reported no unusual catches or sightings of large marine animals. The mystery deepened when DNA analysis revealed it belonged to a swordfish, but one much larger than typically found in Florida waters. Swordfish eyes can grow enormous to gather light in deep waters, but this specimen came from a fish that must have weighed over 400 pounds. What truly unsettled beachgoers was imagining the creature this eye belonged to. Somewhere in the ocean depths swam swordfish large enough to fight whales, their massive eyes scanning the darkness for prey. Tourists avoided the area for weeks, spooked by the thought of what other body parts might wash ashore. Number 5. Norwegian waters hide creatures that nightmares are made of, as one fisherman discovered when he pulled up something that defied classification. The deep-sea fish had bulging eyes the size of dinner plates, and a mouth filled with needle-sharp teeth, designed for one purpose: killing. Its huge eyes had adapted to the pitch-black depths, built to catch even the faintest light. But at the surface, they seemed almost unnaturally aware, watching with a strange intelligence. Its open mouth showed rows of clear, curved teeth designed to trap anything that wandered in. What made it even more disturbing was its behavior. Even out of water, it kept snapping at anything nearby, its jaws moving with sharp, robotic precision. This wasn't just a fish, but was a cold, perfectly built predator. The Norwegian fisherman who caught it said he had nightmares for weeks. Its huge eyes and snapping jaws haunted his sleep, making him wonder what else might be hiding in the deep. Experts said it was a deep-sea anglerfish, but far bigger than any seen before. Its size hinted it had fed on other deep-sea predators, growing into something that defied science. The footage quickly went viral. People compared it to aliens and horror movie monsters, with reactions ranging from fascination to pure fear. Number 4. What started as a heroic attempt to save a shark's life turned into a nightmare that left beachgoers screaming in horror. In July 2025, a 21-year-old fisherman on Nantucket Beach caught a sandbar shark and tried to release it back into the ocean. But the rescue attempt went terribly wrong. Video footage shows the man dragging the thrashing shark by its tail into deeper water, while families with children watched from the shore. The shark was clearly agitated, its powerful body writhing violently as it tried to escape. What seemed like a noble rescue effort quickly became a deadly encounter. As the man waded waist-deep into the water to release the shark, the predator immediately turned and bit him on the leg. The attack was swift and vicious, sending the man hobbling toward shore while blood poured from his wounds. Beachgoers screamed as they witnessed the shark's revenge unfold in real time. The injured fisherman had to be evacuated by air ambulance and flown to a mainland hospital for emergency treatment. Number 3. Crystal-clear Caribbean waters can hide deadly surprises, as fishermen off Cairns, Australia discovered when 600 pounds of pure muscle and rage came flying out of the ocean. A massive black marlin crashed onto their boat with enough force to seriously injure crew members and damage the vessel. Black marlins are among the ocean's most powerful predators, capable of reaching speeds over 50 miles per hour. When one this size breaches, it becomes a living missile with a sword-like bill designed to impale prey. The fishermen had seconds to react as death came flying toward them. The impact shattered the boat's side and sent the crew diving for cover. The marlin's tail smashed gear and punched holes in the deck, while its spear-like bill narrowly missed the captain, stabbing into the console. What made it terrifying was that the fish didn't stop. Most would be stunned, but this one kept fighting, its tail strong enough to break bones, its bill still deadly. The crew battled for over an hour to bring it under control. Some were injured, and the boat was badly damaged. Similar incidents have occurred worldwide, with large game fish launching themselves onto boats like guided missiles. The ocean's apex predators don't always stay in their element. Number 2. Two fishermen thought they were having a perfect morning off the New Hampshire coast, until a massive whale turned their boat into a launching pad. On July 23, 2024, a breaching whale landed directly on their fishing vessel, throwing both men into the ocean in a terrifying display of nature's raw power. The wild footage shows the whale propelling fish out of the water as it breaches, its massive mouth closing as it flops over onto the rear of the boat. One man jumped off when he saw the whale coming, while the other didn't have time to react and got shoved into the water underneath the boat. What makes this encounter truly horrifying is the whale's sheer size and unpredictability. These massive creatures can weigh up to 40 tons, making them living missiles when they breach. The man thrown under the boat managed to surface quickly, but witnesses describe the sound of the impact as deafening. Number 1. Brandon was fishing along Big Sur's fog-shrouded coast when something happened that would haunt him forever. Thick fog had reduced visibility to mere feet when his GoPro captured a mysterious oceanic creature moving through the water behind him, completely unaware of what was happening. The footage shows a large shape moving with purpose through the waves, neither fully submerged nor breaking the surface. Its movement patterns suggested intelligence. This wasn't debris or kelp drifting with the current. Something was actively swimming in those fog-shrouded waters. What makes this encounter truly chilling is Brandon's complete unawareness during the incident. While he focused on fishing, something potentially dangerous was studying him from the water. The fog provided perfect camouflage for whatever was out there, turning the ocean into an alien landscape where anything could be lurking. Big Sur's waters are home to great white sharks, But this creature didn't move like one. It was longer, more snake-like, and its motion didn't match any known whale or dolphin either. Some think it could be a new species entirely. Big Sur's deep, hidden canyons and rich waters are the perfect place for something undiscovered to survive. Brandon's footage sparked debate among scientists and cryptozoologists alike. Whatever rose from those foggy waters, it's a chilling reminder there's still a lot in our oceans we don't understand. And some of it might be terrifying, from ancient creatures rising from the depths to modern mysteries that defy explanation. These 20 moments remind us why the ocean remains humanity's final frontier. The next time you're fishing, remember, something is always watching from beneath the waves, and sometimes, just sometimes, it decides to make itself known.